You're at Thanksgiving dinner. Family gathered, turkey on the table. Someone mentions something in the news. Doesn't matter what. Could be anything. The temperature changes instantly. Your uncle's jaw tightens. Your cousin shifts in her seat. Your mom tries to change the subject. Too late. Within 3 minutes, two people who love each other are shouting. Not debating, shouting about people they'll never meet. Policies that don't affect their daily lives. Events they experience through completely different information sources. The meal is ruined. Someone leaves early. The family group chat will be tense for weeks. It's not really about politics. It's about identity now. Your uncle didn't just disagree with your cousin's opinion. He felt like she attacked who he is. She felt the same about him. You sit there thinking, when did disagreement become war? It's 1995. Same family, same Thanksgiving. Your uncle and your dad have different political views. Everyone knows this. It comes up occasionally. They argue. Actually argue. Points and counterpoints. Sometimes it gets heated. Someone brings up taxes or foreign policy. Voices rise. Then someone makes a joke. The tension breaks. They move on. They're still brothers. Politics is something they disagree about, not something that defines their relationship. After dinner, they watch football together. The argument is forgotten. They got their news from the same places: ABC, CBS, NBC. The same newspapers. The same basic facts. They agreed on what happened. They disagreed on what to do about it. Different opinions, same reality. So how did we get here? That's what this channel breaks down. Hit subscribe. How did political disagreement transform from normal discourse into tribal warfare where we can't even agree on basic facts? Let's start with trust. It collapsed across the board. Trust in the federal government, 77% in 1964, 20% today. Trust in media, 72% in 1976, 32% today. Trust in Congress, 42% in 1973, 8% today. Trust in medical system, 80% in 1975, 38% today. Trust in organized religion, 68% in 1975, 32% today. Every institution, every category, collapsed. This isn't one party's distrust. Both sides distrust everything. They just distrust different things. Conservatives distrust mainstream media, universities, federal agencies, scientific institutions. Liberals distrust corporations, police, religious institutions, conservative media. Everyone distrusts something. Almost no institution commands broad trust from both sides. We didn't just polarize politically, we fractured epistemologically. We can't agree on who tells the truth about anything. Cable news lit the match. This is where it started. CNN launched in 1980. 24-hour news. Revolutionary. But here's the problem. There isn't 24 hours of news per day. Events happen. You report them. Then what? You fill time. With analysis, with opinion, with panels arguing, with speculation, with drama. News became entertainment. Had to be. You're competing for eyeballs 24 hours a day. Boring doesn't work. Fox News launched in 1996, explicitly conservative. MSNBC responded by going explicitly liberal. The audiences sorted. Conservatives watched Fox, liberals watched MSNBC. Each told their audience what they wanted to hear. Confirmation bias monetized. You tune in to feel right, to feel like the other side is crazy, to have your existing beliefs validated. The business model rewarded outrage. Calm, nuanced analysis doesn't drive ratings. Fury does. The other side is destroying the country. That gets viewers. Here's a complex issue with valid perspectives on both sides. That doesn't. So cable news became outrage machines, each side painting the other as existential threats. Because that's what kept you watching through the commercial break. And if you've noticed that cable news makes you angrier than informed, no matter which channel you watch, hit that like button. It tells me you felt the manipulation, the business model that profits from your rage. Social media poured gasoline on everything, then lit another match. Facebook launched in 2004, Twitter in 2006, Instagram in 2010. At first, they seemed connective, keep up with friends, share photos. Nice. Then the algorithms arrived. The algorithms had one job: keep you on the platform. More time on platform equals more ads shown equals more revenue. What keeps you scrolling? Emotion. Specifically, outrage. Content that makes you angry gets more engagement, more comments, more shares, more reactions. The algorithm learns. Show people things that make them angry, they'll engage more, they'll stay longer. So your feed fills with the worst examples of the other side, the dumbest takes, the most extreme positions, cherry-picked to infuriate. Your conservative uncle sees the most radical leftist content selected by algorithm to make him engage. Your liberal cousin sees the most extreme right-wing content selected by algorithm to make her engage. Neither sees the reasonable middle of the other side. That content doesn't drive engagement. It gets buried. They both think the other side is insane because they only see the insane examples. The algorithm shows them nothing else. The filter bubbles created separate realities. This is the key development. You search for something political. The results are personalized, based on your history, your location, your inferred beliefs. You and your neighbor Google the same topic. You get different results, different sources, different facts. Your Facebook feed shows different news than your coworkers. Your YouTube recommendations lead different directions. You're not seeing the same information anymore. You're seeing curated realities designed to keep you engaged. And you don't know this is happening. It feels like you're seeing the news. You're actually seeing your news, personalized, filtered, optimized for your engagement. Two people can watch What Happened Today and see completely different events because they're watching different feeds showing different content. Shared reality requires shared information. The algorithms ended that. And if you've ever shown someone a news story and they'd never heard of it, while they showed you a story you'd never heard of, hit that like button. It tells me you've experienced the parallel realities. We're not ignoring each other's news, we're genuinely not seeing it. The information ecosystem monetized division. Everyone gets paid. Cable news profits from outrage. Higher ratings mean higher ad rates. Social media profits from engagement. More engagement means more data, means more targeted ads. Political campaigns profit from fear. Scared voters donate more. The other side will destroy everything, raises more money than we have policy differences. Media outlets profit from clicks. Outrageous headlines get shared. Nuanced headlines don't. Influencers profit from hot takes. Moderate positions don't go viral. Extreme ones do. Nobody in the system is incentivized to calm things down. Everyone is incentivized to ratchet up. It's not a conspiracy. It's aligned incentives. Every player makes more money when you're angry. And you're the product. Your attention, your engagement, your emotional response. They're not informing you. They're activating you. Because activated users are profitable users. Facts became tribal markers. This is where it got dangerous. It used to be, we agree on facts, we disagree on values and policies. Abortion debate. Both sides agreed what abortion was, disagreed on whether it should be legal. A values disagreement. Climate debate. Both sides agreed the temperature data, disagreed on what to do. A policy disagreement. Now, facts themselves are partisan. Did the economy grow? Depends who you ask. Same numbers, different interpretations presented as different facts. Was the election legitimate? Depends what media you consume. Is the vaccine safe? Depends on your information silo. Accepting certain facts signals which tribe you belong to. Questioning them signals you're on the other team. You can't have productive disagreement when you can't agree on what's real. We're not debating policy anymore. We're debating reality. And that's a fight nobody can win. The expert class lost credibility. Some of it deserved, some not. Experts told us things that turned out wrong. Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. The economy was fine in 2007. COVID couldn't spread from human to human. High-profile failures accumulated. Trust eroded. But also, experts got attacked for political reasons. Scientists stating inconvenient findings became enemies of whichever side disliked the findings. The attacks were strategic. Discredit expertise so anything can be claimed. That's just what they want you to think. Once you've established that experts lie, you can substitute any alternative narrative. Do your own research becomes license to believe anything. Some expert failures were real, and trust was appropriately adjusted. Some expert discrediting was manufactured by people who benefited from your confusion. Sorting the two requires exactly the kind of careful analysis that polarized, outraged, algorithm-fed attention spans can't sustain. The identity merger completed. Politics became self. Your political beliefs used to be one aspect of your identity, like your job or your hobbies, part of you, not all of you. Now, for many people, political identity is primary identity. You don't just vote Republican or Democrat, you are Republican or Democrat. It's who you are at the deepest level. Attack the party, attack the self. Criticize the politician, criticize the person. This is why Thanksgiving explodes. Your cousin didn't disagree with your uncle's opinion, she rejected his identity. He rejected hers. Psychological research confirms political identity now functions like religious or ethnic identity. Core, non-negotiable, existential. You can change your mind about a policy, you can't easily change who you are. So people don't change their minds. They defend, they attack, they dig in. Because updating a belief feels like annihilating the self. And if you've noticed that political arguments feel personal, even when they're about abstract policies that don't affect anyone in the room, hit that like button. It tells me you felt the identity merger. The disagreement isn't about the topic anymore, it's about who people are. Geographic sorting accelerated it. We don't live together anymore. Americans increasingly live near people who vote like them. Counties are becoming more politically homogeneous. The purple middle is disappearing. Deep red and deep blue are expanding. You can live your entire life without meaningful contact with people who think differently. Your neighbors agree with you. Your coworkers agree with you. Your church agrees with you. Your friends agree with you. The people who disagree are abstractions, caricatures drawn by your media, not real humans you know and respect. It's easy to hate an abstraction. Harder to hate your neighbor Steve, who helped you fix your fence. But Steve moved to a county that matches his politics. So did you. You'll never meet Steve now. Social media felt like it would connect diverse people. It actually helped us sort more efficiently. Find your tribe. Block everyone else. Live in a curated community of agreement. The shared physical spaces that once forced contact across difference, the workplace, the neighborhood, the civic club, either disappeared or sorted themselves. The dehumanization became standard. Both sides practice it. Listen to how each side describes the other. Not people with different policy preferences, not citizens who prioritize different values, enemies, threats, destroying the country, evil, dangerous. Cable news hosts, politicians, social media influencers, all use dehumanizing language. The other side isn't wrong, they're malicious. They don't have bad ideas, they have bad intentions. They're not mistaken, they're evil. Once someone is evil, you don't need to understand them. You don't need to engage their arguments. You don't need to find common ground. You just need to defeat them, by any means. That's not politics. That's war. The common ground disappeared. Nobody profits from peace. Who benefits if Americans realize they agree on more than they disagree? Not cable news, ratings would drop. Not social media, engagement would fall. Not politicians, fear fundraising would fail. Not media outlets, click rates would collapse. The entire information economy profits from conflict. Every player is incentivized to highlight division. The 70% of Americans who hold moderate, mixed views, invisible. unprofitable, unrepresented. The loudest 15% on each extreme, amplified, monetized, constantly featured. You think the country is more divided than it is because the division is what gets shown. Polls show agreement on many issues across party lines. You'd never know from consuming media. The conflict is real. It's also exaggerated, and the exaggeration feeds back into making it more real. So how did we get here? Cable news needed to fill 24 hours and discovered outrage drives ratings. Networks sorted by ideology, creating separate information streams. Social media algorithms optimized for engagement, which meant optimizing for anger. Filter bubbles gave people personalized realities instead of shared facts. Every player in the information economy profits from division and loses from unity. Facts became tribal markers, signaling identity rather than describing reality. Expert credibility collapsed from both legitimate failures and strategic attacks. Political identity merged with personal identity, making disagreement feel like existential threat. Geographic sorting eliminated contact with different thinking neighbors. Dehumanizing language became standard, making the other side enemies rather than fellow citizens. And the moderate majority became invisible, while the extreme edges got amplified. We went from disagreeing about policy to disagreeing about reality, from debating what to do to questioning what's true, from political opponents to tribal enemies. Your uncle and your cousin don't disagree anymore. They exist in different worlds with different facts, reported by different sources, interpreted through different identities. They can't find common ground because they can't find common reality. And everyone who could help build that common ground, the media, the platforms, the politicians, makes more money keeping them apart. Maybe the real question isn't how we got here. It's whether we can rebuild shared reality when every system profits from keeping us in separate ones. And whether we even want to when tribal certainty feels so much better than complicated truth. If you've ever felt exhausted by how hostile everything has become and wondered if there's any way back to normal disagreement, hit that subscribe and like button. We're documenting every shift that turned fellow citizens into warring tribes. And the polarization crisis might be the clearest example of what happens when every institution profits from division and nobody profits from peace.